Sam McCoy. Sam McCoy, thank you for giving Fighting Lifestyle UAE the opportunity for this interview. To give a little bit of background about Sam, Sam is a former mixed martial artist. He's a jiu-jitsu coach, he's a BJJ fighter, and he's an author. Having said that, Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a little background about yourself.
Well, first of all, Fighting Lifestyle, thank you for having me. Well, it's kind of weird. I finished playing college football. After college ball, I ended up still having the competitive juices flowing. I joined the American Top Team and met my master there, Marcelo, and then all the other masters there, Ricardo, Liborio, and some of these amazing guys. I started training. I never really wanted to fight, per se, MMA, but slowly progressed into it because I was training with the best guys in the world who were doing MMA at that time. So eventually I had my first MMA fight and so on and so forth. Ended up working out for me, and I set certain goals for myself. I wanted to win certain tournaments. I went out there and I tried to do it, and with the help of my master and all my other masters, Marcelo, Liborio, Rafael Rebello, I was able to accomplish a lot of goals that I didn't think I would. My last fight being in Bellator because I wanted to fight in one big show and then focus more on jiu-jitsu. And then, of course, coming to compete in Abu Dhabi, winning the World Pro in 2010, really helped me kind of establish myself. And now I'm here. I ended up leaving my career as a police officer and coming here, and I really enjoy doing my job.
Talk to us a little bit about some of your accomplishments. I believe you won silver in the Worlds in the no-gi. Talk about your accomplishments both in the gi and the no-gi, and then we can move forward from there.
Well, I won silver in the World Championships twice in no-gi, and no-gi in the World Championships I've gotten bronze medal as well. Pan Americans, I've actually been able to get a bronze medal there. It has always been my dream to win a World Championships at no-gi. And, I didn't start training in gi until I was a purple belt. I didn't train at all. And World Pro was my second gi tournament. After training in the gi, I started falling in love with it because my master was always telling me, you need to train in the gi, you need to train in the gi. So now I currently use the gi to prepare for no-gi tournaments. I feel like it helps you more technically, and you get a little bit sharper with the gi. And it helps me with my no-gi as far as controlling and putting myself in good positions. And it just makes the game a lot easier for me.
Now, Sam, you've written a book. Can you talk a little bit about your book and what is it that book is about? Just talk to us about it.
Yes, the book that I just wrote is called Brazilian Jiu-jitsu Abroad, and it's basically a brief guide to training in Brazil, the U.S., and the UAE. Now, the reason why I chose these three places is because Brazil is a mecca of jiu-jitsu. And that's just where everything comes from. We need to know our history. We need to know how to act if you decide to go there and train. The U.S. is where I'm from, and that's where I've gotten most of my experience from, where I've learned. And the UAE, because in 5 to 10 years, I feel like the UAE will be the mecca of jiu-jitsu. They just have the means, they have the ability, they have the desire to be the best, and they're bringing the best coaches over here. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book. I also wrote the book as well because it can act as a very brief guide for people, a little roadmap if you decide to travel in Brazil, the U.S., and the UAE, and you won't have to deal with some of the things that I've dealt with as far as learning on the go, transportation, foods. I also have a list or a chart of certain languages and words that you can use, airfare. There are certain things that you can that will take the drama or is going to take the headache out of your traveling to go to these other countries, especially in the UAE. I think it's very important for people to come over here and train, especially from the U.S. that may feel apprehensive. There's no reason to be apprehensive. This is one of the safest places in the world. And by being here and training, you have the opportunity to train with some of the best people in the world and really one of the most modern places. We're in Dubai right now, and we're looking at skyscrapers and stuff like that. And right down the street is a gym where you can train jiu-jitsu. So there's certain things that will help improve your game. So that's one of the reasons why I made this book. So to get rid of everyone's apprehensive feelings about traveling and training abroad.
Now, speaking of the UAE and Jiu-Jitsu, you've recently started working here as a BJJ coach in the schools program over here. Talk to us about coaching in the UAE, and talk to us about training in the UAE as a black belt amongst all these other fighters that the UAE is bringing over here.
Well, teaching is pretty unique because just with the brilliant idea that Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Tanoon and Sheikh Zayed, when he was alive, with the brothers discussing, which it goes into that in the book. It tells you about the history of jiu-jitsu in the UAE. But with them having the insight of bringing coaches over here because they wanted to teach jiu-jitsu and art that can help their people or help people here or in general to be better, I think that was just a brilliant idea. So they bring the best coaches from Brazil, from all around the world, to come here and teach. And it's a unique feeling to see a kid who didn't really know anything about jiu-jitsu or wants to learn about jiu-jitsu, or maybe he has low self-esteem, or maybe he's unhappy or out of shape or not healthy. I've actually seen jiu-jitsu change these kids' lives. And, I think that the company that I work for is just doing a fantastic job of trying to teach these kids. Nothing's ever perfect, but we're getting pretty close to it. And then I get the chance to train with the best guys in the world. There's not often where you go to your club in Qatar, or where I train in Al Ain, and you have 30 to 40 or more black belts on the mat at one time. And the way I try to handle it is I try to absorb something from each one of those black belts. So I leave here with a plethora of knowledge. I learned so much from some of the best guys. You have guys here like Alexander Trance, who's in Abu Dhabi, Flavio Serfi, and Flavius Virginius, my friend Italo. Everyone has experience here, and everyone is good at something that they're able to teach you. So I'm very lucky. Now we get into we're talking about training. Now we get into the part of competing with these guys, which is a totally whole different atmosphere. Sometimes you feel like you shouldn't even be on the mat with some of these guys. They're so good. But again, it's a learning experience and something I learn every day, and that I'm very humbled to learn and compete with these people.
Now, Sam, your book seems very interesting. If anybody was interested on getting a hands on this book, how would that person do so? How would I get a hand on your book?
Well, you can go to lulu.com. On lulu.com, you can order the ebook version, which you can use on your tablet. A lot of people are using that now on the go. I'm old school. I don't know much about tablets and all that other stuff, but I've actually downloaded it, and it's pretty convenient to carry on the go with me. You can also order a hard copy, which will be available soon through lulu.com. And with that hard copy, you actually have a training journal in the back. So let's say you're traveling to the UAE or Brazil or the USA, you can actually write down what progressions you're making. You can draw a picture. You can do whatever you want to of whatever techniques that you've learned while you're there. So it's very easy to get from lulu.com, and soon it will be distributed everywhere. You can get it on your Barnes & Noble, or you can get it from your Kindle. You can download all these things. But I think the easiest way to get it is the ebook version.
Well, excellent, Sam. We wish you best of luck, and thank you for the opportunity. And we look forward to interviewing you soon in the near future.
Thank you for having me. I don't know if I can say Ali, thank you for everything, for Fighting Lifestyle in UAE. Guys, please go check this out. If you don't have them on your friends in Facebook, you need to friend them. It's pretty cool, and you're always learning something new. They're always posting something new, something on the edge, and that's what jiu-jitsu is about. It's about learning. So please get out there, download, get Fighting Lifestyle on your Facebook, become their friends, and help the movement.
Us.
Us.